I spent 1 week on the Chinese version of TikTok, Xiaohongshu, and the results I saw were shocking. I really just got membership into the Will you be punished for discussing
There are a lot of hate comments if a girl is posting something, and mainly the hate comments are from guys.
This is a social media experience I've never had in my entire life. What's up everybody, welcome back to a new video. My name is Devin Street, and today we are covering China. Sorry, this is the only shirt I have with China on it. But if you've been living under a rock for the past couple of weeks, a TikTok ban in the US actually finally happened after years of it being proposed. Not only was it passed by the Congress, the Senate, and the President, but then it was justified and upheld by the Supreme Court. And with a refusal to sell on the night of January 18th, TikTok went dark. And then went back up again 14 hours later. And it was a horrible 14 hours. I mean, I was asleep for the most part of it. But a world without TikTok is a world I don't want to be in. But today we're not getting into the TikTok ban. I already covered that in a live stream and I was really upset about it. I can't. Oh, I'm so ignorant. They're so stupid. You pay money for this man to ask the stupidest question on earth. Granted, I was also sleep deprived because I did that stream at 2 a.m. in the morning. But leading up to the ban, American users were trying to find an alternative because they would rather give all their data to the Chinese Communist Party themselves than ever use Instagram Reels. Like, it is really that bad, Mark Zuckerberg. Please stop staring at other people's wives and figure out how to fix your algorithm. Some alternatives included apps like Lemonade or bringing back MySpace. But in the end, we finally decided on Xiaohongshu. Now, if you're like me and don't speak Mandarin, you may not know what that translates to, but Xiaohongshu means the little book. But for some reason, Americans started calling it Rednote. How did we mess up the translation? We do this with everything. Xiaohongshu is an extremely popular social media app in China, and it has over 300 million monthly active users. That's almost America's entire population using this app every month. After being a little skeptical at first, I saw the TikTok ban was inevitable and decided to go ahead and sign up for the app. So after agreeing to give all my data, my firstborn child, to the Chinese government, I was welcomed with the homepage of Xiaohongshu. And it was literally just this plankton meme for like the first 10 minutes of the app. But finally, I started getting some normal videos, seeing what life was like in China, seeing people's middle-class 4-story homes and their 10,000 high-tech electric vehicle cars and their $600 a month penthouse apartments. The government's been lying to us. And granted, I've kind of known China's been goated for a while, but a lot of Americans' eyes have been opened up completely by the life in China and how great it is compared to wherever they are in Ohio or Indiana. And you should also check out this creator on YouTube. He does a great life of showing what it is like being an American in China and showing off the trains. That was the thing I focused on the most. Maybe, I don't know, the autistic fixation of trains, but I love his train videos. And after exploring the app for a little bit, I decided I want to make my own content on Xiaohongshu, introduce myself to the Chinese people and be accommodating and give them some subtitles. Hi everyone, I was moving over to this app because TikTok got banned. So I just wanted to introduce myself in my first ever video.
小红书
And it shocked me when I saw the immediate reach this video got, 3,000 views instantly. But beyond that, I noticed Xiaohongshu has much higher engagement than regular social media apps. Maybe this is because of all the bot problems American social media apps deal with, but it seems like people were just commenting and liking more per viewer. And not a single person was mad I was on the app. They were all so welcoming and kind. They were literally saying, "Welcome to China," like I had just arrived off the boat. And after my first successful video post, I decided might as well do a photo post as well, because it seems like the feed on Xiaohongshu is sort of separated between videos and photos as you scroll through, and it gives a bit of a vibe of almost what Instagram should be. Forget I said that, Mark Zuckerberg. I don't want to give you any ideas. But I made a post saying, "I'm from California. Ask Me Anything. And this post, instantly viral. 145,000 views and almost 6,000 comments and questions. And everyone was super nice. They were asking if I was okay from the fire since I'm close to LA. They were asking me what food was good, as well as what people I may have known that they knew that had moved to California. It was really cool and sweet. And then my inbox got flooded with DMs of asking more intimate questions and personal questions that they didn't really feel comfortable posting on the comments. For instance, will you be punished for discussing Jews? Granted, I know what he means by that. And I looked it up, and there's not necessarily a word for what he's trying to talk about discussing. So I did my best to try to explain to him the difference, and he was super nice. He was wanting to make sure he didn't offend anybody, and he was trying to understand, and then our messages started getting deleted. I'm not joking. We were talking to each other, and real time messages were going away. So then he started explaining Chinese censorship policy and how you can't talk about certain things, and that we would start using code words to explain our conversations with each other. It was a different type of censorship that I have not really seen on social media before. Granted, American social media will just not push something out. You know, they'll just sort of quietly ban it and block it, so when you post it, no impressions, but hey, maybe your content's just not good. So after that conversation, I decided to make a new video with all the people that had followed me from all the views I got, talking about how much I love this app now and I'm glad to be here and everything. And then that video immediately got held for review. I requested for them to accelerate the review on it, and it just didn't do anything. The video just kept staying in review and is still in review right now as I'm recording. And then the next day, I tried posting a picture of a dumpling in a store and trying to show the price of it so Chinese people could compare, and that got held for review as well. It seems like after having those DM conversations with people where I said some things that are clearly censored by the government, that all my videos and posts got held for review after having a pretty viral post right before those conversations. So I've kind of just given up on posting because all my posts are just held in review and I can't dispute them or anything or speed up the process. It's just, they're just kind of stuck there. But trying to shed some nicer light on things, I went back to my DMs and started responding to people and having conversations. There was one specific person asking to be my friend, and I reviewed their profile and I wondered, is this person trans? Without exposing them at all, this person's profile was clearly a man who was dressing up in feminine attire, and I was like, is that really allowed in China? So I just decided to straight up ask. I was like, hey, are you trans, or are you a cosplayer, or what's going on? And they told me, no, I'm just a guy who likes to dress in women's clothing. And I was like, that's allowed in China? What? And he explained to me how it's actually really acceptable by the young people in China to be able to dress like this and be accepted. Some of the older people may look at it a little weird, but there's nothing illegal about it. You're not going to be put to death for it or anything. So once again, the American propaganda machine has failed. One guy that reached out to me was a high schooler who was still learning his English and was asking if he could practice with me. And probably for a solid 30 minutes to an hour, I was practicing English with this guy and helping him out. And he got better over time. It was surprising. It was great. And then there was a lot of more wholesome stuff, like a girl asking me if the English name Georgia was nice. And I let her know it sounds great. And she seemed like she was just going to accept that name now. So I helped someone get their American name. That's pretty cool. And then someone just asked, can you help me? So I said yes. They proceeded to send me their English homework. And then another guy reached out and said, hey, I'm with the Xiaohongshu Daily Press. We want to do some interviews about the influence of visa-free policy. He then sent over a bunch of questions and I recorded a video doing the interview and everything, and now I'm going to be in the Chinese media. Now, I already knew an influencer who was on Xiaohongshu, and I've talked about it with her before, but I didn't really know much about the app. So I reached out to her and asked if she wanted to do an interview discussing the app and what she thought about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and send it over there right now. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself and talk about what you do on Xiaohongshu?
My username is rina.young. It's the same on Instagram. It's the same on Xiaohongshu. And yeah, so I started posting videos on there like 4 years ago, I would say. And I was just randomly posting my videos from the dancing studio because I love dancing. So I have a lot of like videos on my phone already from like, my previous classes and stuff. So I just post them randomly. And then I think that was the time when Xiaohongshu just introduced the video function. So they were giving a lot of views for users or like creators who post videos on that platform, because it used to kind of be like Instagram, where it's like only like pictures and stuff. I kind of caught that wave, so they gave me a lot of views, and then I got to like 80K followers within 3 months. So it was like pretty easy to start for me. I think it was definitely because of the help, of the new function, of their new video function. And then ever since that, I started to do fashion, and then now I mainly post like lifestyle pictures and fashion content.
And would you say like the culture for content creators is different on there compared to TikTok or Instagram, and what's really different about it?
I would say this platform is mainly female-based user, and even though now it's becoming more and more like, like more guys are started using it, but it used to be like a very female-based like platform. I feel like kind of the same reason why Pinterest, I assume you also probably have more female users than male user, because it's more like girly stuff. I assume it's like, mood board and stuff. But I still don't know the reason why Xiaohongshu mainly has female user. Probably it's because girls love go on there to search for like makeup routine, like how to take care of your skin, and then restaurants recommendation and where to go have fun, which is more like girls hobby compared to guy. Like girl care more about fashion, their skin, their makeup, like where to go to take pictures. So I feel like maybe that's the reason why more females are on there. That's also why I personally think it's like a much better environment when there's like only girl, because it's like when I be on the Chinese TikTok, which is Douyin, there are a lot of hate comment if a girl is posting something, and mainly the hate comment are from guys. So that's why we all believe Xiaohongshu just is much more polite and much like people are much more friendlier, also because more female are on it. But also, I get a lot of weird DMs on Instagram, but that barely happened on Instagram. So I would say it's definitely a better experience.
And would you say since like a lot of Americans have started moving over there that's changed any, or is it kind of staying the same?
I mean, I think it definitely changed for the past week for sure, but now TikTok is back, so I assume it was just a very short period of change. Like a lot of people, a lot of Americans were on Xiaohongshu, and then they post a lot of things, and then their things got a lot of views, and they grew followers like super quickly. But I don't think they will be on Xiaohongshu long term. First of all, because the language difference, and second of all, TikTok is back already. So if TikTok is like gone forever, I'm sure like it will be more long lasting. But I just personally think that it will just be like a month thing, because I don't think Americans will keep using the app if TikTok is already back.
Do you see it as like a feasible thing in the same way like American apps like TikTok and YouTube, people make money on it? Is there like a real viable source of turning it into a full-time job being on Xiaohongshu?
Well, I have a lot of friends whose full-time job is Xiaohongshu, and I make all my income from there. But it honestly depends on what kind of content you post, because it's not only just the amount of followers you have, because it's not like TikTok where your views, like, I think TikTok pay you when your video have a lot of views, right? Xiaohongshu doesn't work like that, so even if you get a lot of views, the app itself won't pay you anything. You can only make money off like brand partnerships. So it depends on what kind of content you make, right? Like if your kind of content can sell specific product and stuff, if you make fashion content, honestly, fashion in China is known to be the kind of content that make the least amount of money, because fashion brands usually don't have a lot of budget for for these. But if you post a lot of lifestyle things where it incorporate like exercise or like health, and we all know like health product. I'm not sure if it's the same in the States, but like in China, like if you're selling a health product, like the health product company have a lot of budget to use on influencers. So it really depends on what kind of content you post. That's also why like filming vlog or more lifestyle stuff is like becoming more and more popular on the platform, because people realize that they want to move towards the kind of content that make more money, because in vlog you can put everything in it, right? Like you can sell anything in your vlog. So it definitely depends on the creator's ability to sell a product, because the only way that an influencer can make money is by doing brand partnerships, and usually they have to be able to sell it in a sort of way. So yeah, see, I think it makes sense to pay for the views, because it just incentivize creators to make videos for the sake of videos instead of making money, because if my views get paid, then they would just make more interesting videos for people's like entertainment, because the end of the day videos are for entertainment. But if the only way creators can make money, the only way that creators can make money is off brand partnerships, then they're definitely just gonna make their content much and much more commercial. So I think like TikTok and YouTube has like really good strategy for that compared to Xiaohongshu and stuff, because I don't think it's very healthy long term, honestly.
It's like everything just becomes an advertisement instead of like for enjoyment, for entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I guess like wrapping up, like what is one piece of advice you would give to a creator if they were wanting to start on Xiaohongshu and build a following there?
I would say, because Chinese people are very like, we love our culture, so definitely respect Chinese culture. So if you're posting videos, add like Chinese subtitles so that we understand it, because most of us don't really speak English that well. So it shows respect, and second of all, it attract more Chinese customer to understand your content. And honestly, just interact with your audience, because it's really fun. Because I think a lot of like American people get views and followers on Xiaohongshu because they post something really like like the way they interact with like Chinese like audiences are really funny, so that's how they get popular. So because we know that most Americans don't really speak Chinese or Mandarin, so they probably use translator and stuff, but like just seeing that they're trying is like really funny itself already, and it's like funny in a cute way. So like we really like that. And yeah, and honestly, I think content is universal. So if it work on TikTok, it will work on Xiaohongshu as well. Because I do see that a lot of like big TikToker, they post their videos on Xiaohongshu. Like I already know that they're big on TikTok, but their content, they didn't change anything, and it just also went viral on Xiaohongshu. So I feel like as long as you keep making good content, it will work in any platform, to be fair. Yeah, but just be respectful to Chinese culture. I think that's the most important thing, because like I think the world know that Chinese are like very, we love our culture, and we love people being respectful to our culture and stuff. Yeah, I think like Xiaohongshu is also trying to figure out a new algorithm, because like if Americans get view, it all depends on their algorithm and their policy, right? I think I honestly don't know the reason why initially Americans get so many views, because to be fair, it's a little it's very random, and it's very like just not natural for the amount of views and followers they get in the beginning. But I think in the future they're trying to separate the users based on where they're based. So if your account is based in the United States, then they would recommend more US based content to them. So they're trying to separate the users based on their IP address. So it might so in the future, maybe if you are like a US creator or even you are just a US user, you might barely see any content from like a Chinese user. I think that's their new strategy, but I feel like it's super new to Xiaohongshu. I don't think they were like expecting this, so they are still trying to figure out new policies. So I feel like it all depends on their policies.
Now, at the end of the day, Xiaohongshu is probably one of the most unique experiences I've ever had on a social media platform. Even though it's been around for a while, it gave me the same feeling as going on YouTube for the first time in the early 2010s or joining TikTok in 2018. But it also gave me a completely new cultural experience. I loved interacting with all these people from a different country and getting to learn about their lives, discuss the economy, food, politics, and everything in between. Now, do I really think this is ever going to be a replacement for TikTok? Maybe. Simply the infrastructure is not there for it yet. I don't think the owners of the app realized all these Americans were immediately going to come on here. You can see that by a couple days after the Americans swarmed the app, they brought out a new translate feature, which was great. And it seems like TikTok may very well be censored really soon and start to die off. Even though TikTok is now back, I feel like the ban did something to the app that it just simply can't recover from. TikTok seems like it's still going to be around as long as, you know, everything passes and it stays in America, but I truly don't believe it's going to be the same app that people have seen it as for the past few years. People are slowly going to start to go to other places, whether that's existing places like YouTube and Twitch or brand new apps like Xiaohongshu. But overall, I'm going to probably try to post on here again soon and see if I can build a following on here and see what it's like to, you know, explore an app that is not US based at all. Keep in mind, TikTok is a US based company. It has a parent company that is Chinese, but it is based in California. The concept of using social media apps that are not made for American users at all is very unique, and I think it's gonna go a long way in the future to bridge gaps that we've previously had as a country. But that's gonna conclude this video. If this is your first time watching and you wanna learn more about the creator economy, that's all I cover on this channel, so go ahead and click the subscribe button. Te shang tao yong hongge hongde tongge xin yong de ta she me.
天上太阳红呀红彤彤哎，心中的太阳是毛泽东哎，他领导我们的解放哎，正义翻身当家作。